My parents got my older brother a Lexus for his 18th birthday and got me the cheapest car they could find on mine. So my grandparents threw them a humiliation party and made all relatives hate them. My brother got a car for his 18th birthday, not a new car or anything. It was a 20-year-old Lexus that was in pretty good shape, and he rubbed it in my face for the rest of the time he was in his senior year of high school. Compared with my brother, I get just as good grades as he does, better in some cases even. I worked my hardest in the hope of fairness. I even volunteered to clean up garbage in my local area. Then my 18th birthday came and went a few weeks ago, and the only thing I wanted, the only thing I was hoping for, was a car. I wasn't expecting something new or sporty, just reliable like my brother got. The party was different for my brother's 18th. For his, my mom baked a delicious layered chocolate pudding cake. I got a sheet cake from the supermarket. He had a DJ. I got my dad's old boombox with mixed CDs. As things wrapped up, I asked why there was no car when my brother got one. They said they felt he'd worked harder for it, which confused me since I'd done everything he had and more. My grandma overheard and lectured my parents about showing favoritism. She announced to everyone still there that my parents thought getting their firstborn son a car and DJ was fine, but not their second. My uncle was the first to speak up, followed by others. I went to my room, received apology calls from relatives, and my grandparents took me out for the evening. When I returned, my parents were furious, saying I'd shamed them to the family. Weeks of silent treatment followed until they suddenly surprised me with a white '98 Subaru Legacy, practically throwing the keys and title at me. They agreed to pay insurance for 6 months like they did for my brother. I felt like I'd essentially blackmailed them into it. I got a part-time job that later went full-time for the summer. 3 weeks in, the Subaru blew its head gasket on the highway. My grandparents discovered someone had used gasket sealer as a temporary fix before my parents bought it. My parents just shrugged and said it was karma for making them get me the car. My grandparents witnessed this reaction and tore into them. After a 2-hour discussion, it came out that my parents had bought the cheapest car they could find without inspection. My uncle explained the engine would need rebuilding, costing more than the car was worth. I had to take unpaid leave from work. My grandparents told me to let them handle it. Days later, they returned with a 1999 Honda Civic hatchback with 180,000 miles, complete with repair records and my uncle's approval. My parents showed no enthusiasm, just pure defeat. The Subaru was resold for $400, which went into my savings. Meanwhile, I received a 50% scholarship to a good college close by, compared to my brother's 30%. My parents looked unhappy rather than proud. My grandma confronted them, asking if they wanted me to fail. They meekly said they were happy and would help with tuition like they did for my brother. Their reactions felt forced and emotionless. I asked my grandparents if they knew why my parents acted this way. They revealed I wasn't an accident exactly, but my parents had wanted a girl after having my brother. They had agreed to stop after 2 children and were convinced I'd be female. They'd bought girl clothes and refused to learn my gender until birth. I was a disappointment from day one, using my brother's hand-me-downs until age 3 because they'd bought so much girl stuff. My grandparents admitted my parents were too set in their ways to change. Since then, my parents barely discussed college with me. Following advice from concerned messages, I contacted my college to ensure no one could withdraw my acceptance by pretending to be me. Unexpectedly, my brother called after hearing everything from our grandparents. He apologized in his way and confided he planned to stay in his current state after graduation rather than return home as our parents wanted. I told him I might do the same. Our conversation was awkward since we rarely spoke anymore. My grandparents and extended family threw me a surprise party similar to my brother's 18th, with a DJ and chocolate cake. My parents attended but remained like wallflowers the entire time, saying and doing little. I sat at a far table in the corner and drank beer quietly. The look of defeat they had was even greater now. The party wasn't just to congratulate me, but also to rub in my parents' faces that they should have done better, because the rest of the family had made their disappointment in them clear. They seemed like they wanted to leave the party for a while. I can't say I blame them. They were being humiliated into staying where they were. My grandma said that you're always young enough to be taught a lesson in humility.